Well, one of our U.S. senators came out in the last couple of days and said, when it comes to this border bill that was negotiated in the Senate, this thing's going nowhere fast if I have my way. And then, of course, it got killed a couple of nights ago, and it looks like we now have to at least maybe not start from scratch, but certainly begin these negotiations all over again. Kansas U.S. Senator Roger Marshall is here. Senator, we've talked on and off about this the last few weeks, how this border issue would be taken care of in Congress, if at all. That Senate bill, when it came out, what was your initial reaction to it?
I wanted to vomit, Pete. I wanted to vomit. Absolutely disappointed. Joe Biden was never serious. This was a charade. All he's ever wanted is Ukraine funding. He's never wanted to secure the border. But this is what happens. I mean, people are blaming my good friend James Lankford, but this is what happens. Americans gave Democrats the White House, the Senate, very thin majority in the House. This is the best we could do. We need to start over. This does not secure the border at the end of the day. It does not secure the border. It might even make it worse. It doesn't touch asylum the way I would like it to. It doesn't really have any impact on parole. So this is a non-starter. It's dead. It's going to go down today. It'll not get the 60 votes it needs.
All right. So, and Mitch McConnell, of course, even backtracked on this thing. How did we even get to the point where some in leadership thought that this was going to be something that fellow Republican senators and even the American people would get behind when, as you noted, $60 billion was for Ukraine and $20 billion for the border, and then what was for the border wasn't even all that impressive?
Yeah, this is the Ukraine funding bill is what this is. There's people in our leadership, too, whose priority is Ukraine funding. I think we just have to be honest with ourselves and honest with America. That was their funding. They would take almost any type of border bill to get their funding for Ukraine. I don't get it, Pete. I don't get it at all. 10 million people crossed our border in the last 3 years. My goodness, 2 million gotaways, people wandering out there that we have no idea who they were, where they are. All I know is that 300 Americans died yesterday from fentanyl poisoning. 300 are going to die today. Our number one, most important national security issue is our border. And right now, it's no better today. This bill's dead. We need to start over. But this is not the priority for this White House. The White House wants funding for Ukraine.
This morning we air Fox News Rundown at 5 a.m., and you've been on there sometimes. We've heard you on there on the Fox News Rundown. This morning they had on Brandon Judd, who's the head of the Border Patrol Union, and I know you're familiar with him. So they were backing this bill, and basically his point is don't let good be the enemy, or don't let perfect be the enemy of good. And his point is, hey, this is a step in the right direction. Why do you and your many fellow Republican senators say, no, this is not a step in the right direction?
Yeah, so I know Brandon. He's been my personal guide when I've been down the border. He's meeting with me tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Look, his main job is to take care of the union. And I love those guys. The Border Patrol, those are my people. My dad was a police officer. Those are my people down there. They are drowning. They are desperate. They would take any type of help that they could get. And the bill does help them a little bit, but it doesn't secure the border. It does not solve asylum. It does not cure the parole issue. Remember, under Joe Biden, he's paroled 2 million people. 2 million people. Barack Obama paroled 20,000 people. We went from 20,000 to 2 million people. We have to fix parole. It's his get out of jail free card. If anyone has a problem, he's breaking the law. He's paroling people, tens of thousands of people at a time. The law says you're supposed to do it individually, one at a time. So I respect Brandon. I respect the Border Patrol, but frankly, I got to do what's best for America, not what's just best for the Border Patrol officers.
Kansas U.S. Senator Roger Marshall is joining us on KCMO. So where does this go from here, Senator? I mean, is this like now we just start from scratch? I mean, could the House send you guys something that they pass? But I don't know. I mean, where are we at now? Or is it just status quo through the election?
No, it's November. eventually the American people will have to make a decision. Do they want a president that's going to secure the border, or do they want Joe Biden? That's the ultimate judgment. That's the ultimate impeachment hearing that we're going to have, is who does America want? Do they want a secure border, or do they want open borders? And I'm even afraid, one more point on this law, as I look at it, I think Joe Biden can manipulate it just like he's manipulating this one. If you have a president who is lawless, who does not want to enforce the law, then it's just almost impossible. Remember, John Adams said the Constitution was meant for a moral and godly people, moral and religious people. And so when you write the laws, you assume the people enforcing the law want to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. And if you have an executive branch that does it, then you're just you've got a problem. So the ultimate decision is going to be in November. In the meantime, this bill's dead. I don't see the House and Senate reconciling. Chuck Schumer's going to turn today. I think you wait and see. I bet he just cuts the border stuff off and goes right to Ukraine funding. I'm afraid he'll even cut Israel funding. I am amazed how much the Democrats are pro-Palestinian and they're anti-Israel. So we'll see what he does with the rest of that funding.
Well, and you know where this goes. Of course, the talking point now from President Biden as he seeks re-election is going to be part of what he said yesterday. I'll play the clip and get your response.
Trump and the MAGA Republicans said no because they're afraid of Donald Trump. Afraid of Donald Trump. Every day between now and November, the American people are going to know that the only reason the border is not secure is Donald Trump and his MAGA Republican friends.
All right, Senator, how do you respond to that?
Look, he assumes that Americans are dumb, that they don't get this. I have faith that Americans know right from wrong. Abraham Lincoln, what did he say? You can't fool all the people all the time. I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it at all. Americans look at the facts. And under Donald Trump, the border was secure. On day one, Joe Biden comes in, gets rid of every one of the rules that Donald Trump had set up, and it went from less than 1,000 a day to 10,000 a day. I think Americans are much smarter than this, and they don't like being lied to. This is going to blow up in his face. How do you tell when Joe Biden's lying? His lips are moving. Americans get it.
Senator Marshall, before we let you go, we're not going to talk to you before the big game on Sunday. So I know you're fired up. I assume you're not going to be out there in Vegas. You tell us if you're going to be out there and what you like for the game on Sunday.
No, I can't go to the Raiders Stadium. I just can't do it. There's not enough nausea medicine that I could take to get me in that stadium. I think in 2024 Chiefs, it's year 2024, so 2024 Chiefs. Right now, I'm getting on my game jersey. This is the last full day we'll be here at the Capitol. I got my Chiefs tie, my Chiefs jersey. But are we wearing white jerseys, red jerseys? Do we know that yet? I want to make sure I'm in vogue here.
What are we wearing there, gentlemen?
Red.
We're doing red jerseys.
Good. That's my favorite. Red jerseys. It's great that we're an underdog. Can you believe it?
I know.
2-time Super Bowl champion, quarterback, coach, tight end. We're a little banged up, Pete. I looked at the injury report yesterday. We're missing our nose guard, a defensive end, a good offensive guard. We're missing. They're pretty healthy, it looks like.
Yes.
But I will see if Andy Reid and our defensive coach kind of comes up with a special program for these guys, because they're a good team. Of course, they're really good. They're very talented on paper. They've got a really good middle linebacker, offensive receivers. They do have a really good running back. I'll give them that.
What's the score there, Senator?
Yeah, I'm saying 2024. 2024.
Oh, okay. So you're saying Chiefs 24, Niners 20?
Yeah. You got it.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Very good. And I don't want to get you in trouble, but how about that win for your K-State Wildcats in overtime on Monday? Big Monday game.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, first of all, it was a great game. I'm glad it's competitive. KU looks like a top, 4 team at home, and on the road they look like a top 20 team. They got to sort that out. Look, K-State's not as talented as we were last year, but boy, they're scrappy kids, and Coach Tang's got them playing good too. So we're just blessed to have, my goodness, the top NFL program in the world and 2 top 20-ish basketball teams as well.
And hey, I think I think this state has 2 top 25 basketball programs and now 2 top 25 football programs. Life is good.
Yeah. All that. I got one closing point, Pete. No matter what people talk about the Super Bowl, we got Coach Reid, we got Mahomes, and we got Tay Tay. So I'm going to be playing. I'm going to be playing her playlist all day long. For the record, I like "Cruel Summer," and then I heard one last night. It's called "Mean." It's kind of got a country twist to it. So I'm trying to embrace this.
I love it. He is a Swiftie there. He's got his Chiefs gear on. He's rocking his Spotify playlist to Taylor Swift today, and he's fired up for the Super Bowl. Senator, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it.
Yeah, Pete. Good job. Everybody take care.
There you go. That's Senator Roger Marshall on KCMO Talk Radio.